What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Egan51 Reacts. We back at it again, man, with another so fresh and clean video, man. Today we got the Warriors just sent the NBA a warning, bro. Let's check it out.
5th in the Western Conference versus 6th in the Western Conference. Those were the stakes. 5th in the Western Conference versus 6th in the Western Conference. Those were the stakes entering the game for the Golden State Warriors and Memphis Grizzlies, with the Grizzlies holding a record of
Steph Curry and Zaza
44 and 31, and the Warriors a record of 43
Look at Curry,
and 31.
man.
And
Look at Curry, man.
Wolves and
Look at
Clippers
Curry,
right
man.
in the mix to knock either of these teams down to the play-in. This game was the most important of the season for both teams. Enter Stephen Curry.
Curry doing everything.
Bro, wasn't the Grizzlies like second in the West last week, bro? Yo, how did y'all sell that, bro? Yo, that's gotta be studied, bro.
Beautiful steal. Wanted that three in transition. Step back. And
look at Wardell Curry, man. Look at Curry, man.
Corner three.
Whoa!
Needs to be won.
Nice.
When your season is on the line,
look at Curry
in the
doing
regular
great things,
season
man.
or in the playoffs, how many players in NBA history would you rather have on your side than Stephen Curry? The greatest shooter ever.
It's just splat, splat, splat. Niggas automatic, bro.
Point guard ever, and a guy who can simply do things that we have
that
never
shot was
seen
insane.
And we'll never see
that
again.
shot
and
ever
that
again,
on
ever again.
display
Facts
in this game against Memphis. I mean, look at him casually pulling up from 30 feet with Ja Morant right in his face.
This game was
but how
crazy,
about a shot
bro.
Like this, where Jimmy drives
this
into
game
the
was.
paint. He kicks it to Dre, who was wide open, but instead of settling for the three, he gives the handoff to Steph. And look at that shot difficulty. No time to set his feet and
fading to the left, bro. That's what I was just about to say. He didn't even put his feet on the ground firmly, bro. That is greatness, bro. We are breathing the same air that man Stephen Wardell Curry is breathing. Wow.
And a 7-foot DPOY
wow.
in his
Enjoy
face,
it while
and
we
he
can,
drains
man.
the three. We will always talk about the pull-up threes and the insane distance at which Steph has been able to shoot his entire career, but shots like this, these are the kind of shots that Steph has mastered that we have never seen at this rate, and it's just unfair that he can do all of this in addition to being one of the greatest ball handlers of all time, and a guy capable of scoring inside the arc as well. And he did absolutely everything in this must-win game against Memphis, leading the Dubs to a victory with a stat line of 52, 10, and 8.
Damn, bro.
Oh, did I mention
5 steals, bro? 5 steals.
He had 5 steals
so
as
inspirational.
And led the entire game in plus-minus? Yeah. He also did that, and not only was he causing trouble on defense, but those steals were turning into easy offense for the Warriors in transition. Like on this play where Pippen Jr. gets stuck in the paint. Steph kicks him off, and then with Gee running the floor, he finds him for the easy bucket. Or here where Ja gets crowded by the Warriors defense. Steph is there to pick it off, and with the Grizzlies preparing to load up on Steph, he passes it to Moody, who just barrels into Eden.
Niggas was thinking of triple teaming him, bro. These 3 niggas wanted to triple team Steph Curry,
he
bro.
passes it to Moody, who just barrels into 80 for the finish. And then, of course,
big body, bro.
Steph Curry,
that
he can
7-foot ass nigga
on one end into a 3-pointer on the other end in a matter of seconds.
Whoa! Damn, that's an amazing shot, bro.
To be one of the teams
that shot has so much aura, bro.
Steph and the Warriors. It was supposed to be an end of an era in Golden State, but all of a sudden,
to be honest, bro, Josh's way too arrogant for this shit, bro. I don't think he'll ever win a chip, man. At least not on the Grizzlies. He gotta go to a team like I don't know, the Pelicans, bro.
Actually got a star to help support him. You have seen.
Wait. I just want to put my charger in, bro. There we go. Let's continue, man.
In both the Warriors and Steph with a different level of rejuvenation.
Jimmy?
And the numbers back it up. Because since the Jimmy Butler trade, not only are the Dubs 19-4, but Steph Curry is averaging...
They're 19-4? I didn't know that. Wow. That's a great stat line,
just
bro.
under 28 points, nearly 6 assists, and 4 boards a game.
Jimmy got to retire with the Dubs, but I ain't gonna lie.
Which is back to that all-NBA
just makes sense,
level from Steph
right?
that we have seen
No?
for over
I don't
a
know.
decade. And just speaking on the numbers, look at the number of 50-point games Steph has had since turning 30 years old in comparison to the other...
I don't want to hear anything about LeBron James, the Michael Jordans, bro. Look at that, bro. Look at that. My glorious king, Victor Himbanyama, is going to slide into that first spot over a couple of years, bro. I ain't going to lie.
The greatest players in NBA history. If you want to talk about longevity, you have to talk about Steph Curry. And he doesn't seem like slowing down anytime soon. But just talking about...
He still plays like a 20-year-old, bro. The movements, he never stands still on the court, bro. It is a nightmare. A nightmare. To God, Steph Wardell Curry.
This performance from him for a second, it was special. It was a performance that only Steph Curry could have. Yeah, Klay Thompson has had some incredible games, and so has Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, all of these guys. But it's not just the shooting, it's the defensive...
I like those screens that Draymond are setting, bro. They are low-key undervalued, bro. They are underrated, bro. A lot of Steph's beyond the arc shots, bro, are coming from that screens, bro.
He faces every single possession. It's the playmaking, it's the movement, it is everything.
Oh, okay, Draymond.
Here, as you see, Edie is over here doubling Steph and leaving Dre wide open at the top of the key. Steph gives it to Dre and does a disappearing trick on Aldama, who completely loses him.
Look at that plumber, bro. Look at this plumber, bro. Bitch ass nigga. Where you going? Give that guy a manual. Wow. Give him a map. Matter of fact, Unc, give him a GPS, please. Show him where Steph is.
Locating to the wing to knock down on the 3. Or how about here, where it's Jimmy setting the screen for Steph this time, and with both defenders going to Steph, it gives Jimmy a full head of steam going downhill, and that's always going
too much
to be
space,
a good
bro.
result for the Warriors.
The space for Steph is going to be so much because who are they going to guard, bro? Like, there's Steph, there's Jimmy. I don't know about Draymond, but Paz has been hooping. Santos has been hooping, bro. But the rotation is ass, bro. What is wrong with Steve Kerr, bro? Damn, bro. They can literally hire me as a coach, bro. I will win every championship until Steph retires.
And
facts.
It's this reason
facts.
why Jimmy
I am
Butler
like
said
that.
He's
I am like that. I don't care, bro.
Anyone like Steph Curry, because I promise you, he hasn't had a player who would draw that much attention away from him since he was a rookie.
I just said
that with Jimmy Butler. Well, you can imagine.
Our contestants think they know disgust.
L-Edge, man, L-Edge.
An AI that's programmed to overreact them all.
No.
He's drawing that same kind of attention when Dre goes to set the screen. Like on this play, where Edie has to come all the way out, and it's just an open runway for Dre to go downhill and get to the rim. And this was the Grizzlies' game plan all game
it got to be a nightmare. Playing against the Warriors, bro?
Threes as he could make. And it has worked for the Warriors a lot of the times this season, with Draymond having a great shooting season. This was not one of those games. But despite that, with the combination of Draymond's passing, his screening, his intelligence, and Steph Curry just being an alien, the Warriors were able to overcome that. In addition to some help
he called
from
Curry an
Quentin
alien.
Post, who was turned into the absolute steal of the draft. But just getting back to Steph Curry, there is a reason
that nigga can shoot, bro. That nigga Post.
Since the Warriors traded for Jimmy Butler, there is a reason his 2 best games of the season have come in the last 20 games with Jimmy in the lineup. It's because he finally has some room to breathe. I know I just said that the Grizzlies were pretty much putting pressure on him every single game.
Damn! Wow!
I know I just
Nigga,
said
the
that
whole team!
Grizzlies were
The
pretty
whole
much
team
putting
is
pressure
guarding Steph, bro. Look at that, nigga. These
every-
niggas are starving, bro. A quadruple team, bro? A triple team plus one? What do you call it, bro? Damn, the respect is crazy. Look at Ja hesitating, bro. He also wants to go, bro. Nah. This is sad, bro. This is sad, bro. I could never relate, bro. Nigga, that nigga is 7 foot. I don't know what, bro. What is he listed at? Players like Shaquille O'Neal, bro. I respect Steph Curry, bro. But compared to this nigga, players like Shaquille O'Neal would have swatted that shit out of there, bro.
Every single game.
Wow.
That's not the best example of
That
that.
is just
But what
sad,
I mean
bro.
is, he doesn't have to do this every single game. He knew this was a huge
facts.
performance, and we all knew he was going to deliver. But just look at a handful.
And the thing is, now he only got to do is like walk around the perimeter, bro. The niggas are gonna guard him, and he scored 56 points, right? So the next game, they are gonna suffocate him, bro. Jimmy Butler is gonna be open. Post is gonna be open. Podge is gonna be open.
Full of his most.
Moody is gonna be
He took
open.
9 shots versus the Kings, 10 shots versus the Spurs, 8 shots versus the Raptors. These are all games the Warriors won. These are all games in which Steph didn't need to put up a Herculean effort for them to win. He was even able to rest a couple of games in between all of that and be rejuvenated for games like this, for games like the Lakers, and that is the benefit of having Jimmy
Woo!
Butler.
Damn,
Because
look
no
at that.
longer does Steph need to do this every single night, because you have someone who can give you 25 points on any given night, who can give you triple doubles, playmaking, defense, clutch time, scoring. Steph Curry is 36 years old. His best is still as good as anyone, but he's also 36 and can't do
look at
this
that foul.
every single night. But having these two take turns is the reason the Dubs are now 18-2 when they both play. Did you hear me just say that?
Damn,
they
bro.
Have 8
They only lost 2 fucking games. That is a crazy fucking stat, bro. That is a crazy fucking stat, bro. Nigga. Wow.
18 wins and 2 losses with Jimmy and Steph in the lineup.
Only
This was
2
just
losses,
another
bro.
example of what these guys could look like in a playoff setting. Draymond Green with a triple-double whilst being the best
The
defender
league is
on the
cooked.
court,
The
outdueling
league
a
is
guy in the
cooked.
mix for DPOY in Jaren Jackson Jr. Jimmy Butler casually finishing with 26, 6, 4, and 3 on 11 shots.
Whoa,
and then,
nice.
What Steph did. But to
That
have
bitch ass
those 3
nigga.
guys
This nigga Edie is a cone on defense, bro. How are you 7'5" and can't even block a single shot, bro?
who can
That
lock
is
in
sad.
like that. There's
That
just
is
not a
sad,
team on
bro.
earth that wants to see them in the playoffs. And it's not just about their reputations or careers. This team is 18-2 with Jimmy and Steph in the lineup. Need I say any more?
I like that
If
shot.
doesn't
I
tell you
liked
they're a
that shot, bro.
championship level team, nothing will. Now, if you made it all the way
Hey, yo, W video, man. I ain't gonna lie. But check out my other video, subscribe, and yeah, I'm out.